Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Clownfish TV. Happy Labor Day to those in the United States. And we're working on Labor Day. We're laboring.
We are.
We're laboring on Labor Day. And we're going to talk about the strikes in Hollywood because not everybody's working. Some people are picketing. And they've been picketing for months. And it looks like there are some cracks now that Fran Drescher, who's in charge of SAG-AFTRA. Look, I don't have anything personal against Fran Drescher. I actually like Fran Drescher. I think she's all right. But she apparently the stress is getting to her. She snapped at a union member.
I can see that. I can see where that would get like, oh my God, I can't solve it. I can't make them do what you want. Sorry. You know, I can see it.
Well, she was getting crap. I mean, look, before the strike started, they were giving her crap because they said, you know, she was hobnobbing with.
Well, they were mad too about she didn't want the vaccine mandates and stuff.
Yeah. So she's, I mean, look, this is a situation where you're not going to make everybody happy, right? No. I mean, you can do what you can do. But I mean, this is a very interesting situation in the fact that the studios, I believe, just a personal opinion, I believe the studios wanted this to happen. So there's not a whole lot you can do to change their minds until they're good and ready to start spending money again. That's what I think this is about. And of course, she's got everybody screaming at her, and
I'm sure it sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure it does suck. So she screamed back, and personally, I'll be honest, I could never put myself in that position.
No, I would have screamed a long time ago.
Yeah, I would have been like day one, I'd be like, shut the hell up, just shut up. So we'll talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the positive, upbeat message from the WGA. I do not agree with their assessment of where they're at right now. I think it's actually pretty bad because the studios made what they said was going to be the final offer.
Did they say it was final offer?
Yeah, they said in the 11th. It's like take it or leave it. Like they basically gave them everything they wanted except the writer's room.
That's the only thing they're not giving them. Yes.
That's the only thing they're not giving them because I do not believe that is realistic. I don't think it's a realistic ask.
I don't think most people believe it's a realistic ask. But anyway.
No, and they turned down, which could, what could be like $11,000 to $14,000 a week, and people were like, "What the hell is wrong with you? $11,000 to $14,000 a week?" I think there's going to be a lot of people
that are inside the union. They're like, "Wait, what? Why'd you turn that down?" You know?
Yeah. So let's talk about all of this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo. I don't think Fran Drescher's given many woohoos these days. I think she's probably had up to here. She looks very tired. I gotta tell you, in pictures, she looks rough. Like she looks.
Doesn't she look tired?
Doesn't she look tired? Yeah.
Some people get that.
Doctor Who reference, guys. Yeah. Doctor Who reference. But no, she does. She looks like she's been through a lot, and I mean, I'm sure she's got people blowing up her DMs, sending her nasty emails, screaming at her on the telephone from both sides. I'm sure. And she's got to be the monkey in the middle, and nobody wants to do that. But she's used to it. She's used to being screamed at. This is coming from Deadline. Fran Drescher expresses regret for yelling at unsuspecting members sharing grievances. Vows to pay close attention. So apparently, she screamed at a union member who had grievances. I yelled at an unsuspecting member simply sharing her grievances. I had a meltdown and a complete and offensive overreaction. I, of course, apologized, but I continue to beat myself up over it. And she said that this was caused by a convergence of family aggravation, personal health issues, and board member abuse, staff bureaucracy. And she had a crying release of tears to Duncan Crabtree Ireland, who's part of this thing, too. So should we read her full message?
You can if you want to.
Do we want to read her full message?
I don't know if people care, but you can if you want to.
Anyway, she said, it's very lengthy. Every time a celebrity apologizes on Instagram, it's like 9 paragraphs long.
Mostly, I'm sorry I was caught kind of thing.
But
look, I get it. I'm sure, especially if you have your own world issues going on, like your health and stuff like that, or family members are sick or something. And then you're trying to negotiate this deal that doesn't seem to go anywhere. And no matter what you do, people are going to be pissed. It's gotta be difficult, I am sure.
Yeah. So Fran is saying to herself, I love you, Fran.
When you just say I love you, Fran, though, I love you myself, then it's just like, no, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, look, I get she's gonna. I think that this is the goal, though. I think that the studios knew exactly what the hell they were doing.
I know that you're a good person, me. It's Fran and Fran. It's me
I'm
and
good
me
enough.
to the end of time.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
I love myself. I think I'm grand. I go to the movies and hold my hand. And when I bring me home at night, I sweetly kiss myself goodnight. My mom used to say that. I don't know why.
So I wonder if the other Fran is the nanny, like sounds just like the nanny.
She's like,
Why are you so mean to Mr. Sheffield?
I can't do accents. I'm not going to try.
I'm not.
You can't do accents.
I
either.
can't
That
do
doesn't
it.
stop you. So, you know.
I do bad accents. That's my thing. We're gonna go on Cameo. Have you seen Cameo? That thing where like
yeah, I know what it is.
Like e-celebrities that nobody cares about and other people.
$10, you'll call people with it and do bad accents, bad impersonation.
Somebody said it sounds more like Peter Griffin jerking off than it does the nanny, but
Oh my God, I can't unsee it. I was like somebody like going up against a spin cycle or something. You know, I didn't know. A machine gun. Go with a machine gun.
Oh my.
Sorry. Anyway,
look, I don't want to bust on Fran Drescher.
that's not gonna stop you.
It's not gonna stop me. No. I do like her. I do like Fran.
I know you appreciate the fact she stood up about the mandate.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. She's doing what, and I do agree with the union on some points. And we've said this before. Some points.
You don't agree with every point, so you're anti.
Yeah, right.
You can agree like on 99.9% of things, but because you don't agree on 100%, you are against them.
Yeah, the only thing I agree 100% that people should not be, I can't say replaced with AI, but I think that your likeness and your voice should not be taken and used without your permission. And there are contracts out there that basically give the studios the right to do with whatever they want to do. And they actually have technology out there now where when they're dubbing, I've seen it, when they actually dub movies in another language, they've already scanned your face and your voice. So they can do basically your voice in another language, but they also can make the mouth line up.
See, that's different, though. I mean, I think a lot of actors would agree to that because then it's like they're not just having you dubbed over by somebody else. That would I'd be mad at those other countries because your dub people will get out of work.
Well, the problem is that people are like, okay, if they can do that easily, they could easily put words into your mouth.
Yes.
They could say, hey, this person had a real problem with this dialogue. They don't want to say it.
They can do that now.
Yeah. Say, well, we're going to make this character say it because that's it. So you got to really look your contract. So that I agree with. And them getting paid more. Okay, fine. If you're bringing it, I think you should get paid more.
And residuals. That has been an ongoing issue.
Residuals is a huge issue because they have played, and I would be pissed. I just
want to see transparency in general. We're not getting transparency from these studios.
Well, you're not going to get it anyway because they're going to be like, oh, we're going to give a secret scroll to the head of the union to let people know what the shows are getting. I mean, personally, I'm like, hey, just YouTube this shit and just throw it up there. And when you log into Disney Plus, you can see exactly how many times people didn't watch Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much.
That's basically.
Or turned it off after 2
minutes. Yeah. Put like average watch time, average view duration. If it's like, oh, look, we got 5 million views, average view duration of the first episode of Ahsoka is 8 minutes.
Then you can see the Disney stock crash further in real time.
Absolutely. Anyway, so they're never going to be honest.
But some of the they ask, I think, are ridiculous, and it's like they don't get everything. They're like, we get everything or nothing, and it's like that's not how negotiations work.
I think on the writer's side, it's more ridiculous. I
agree.
The actors, I think.
Well, what gets me is they're telling them. Your point with the actors, what you're mad about, is they're out there telling people like us that we can't talk about movies, we can't talk about stuff. You have no dog in the fight. You're not part of the union, but someday you might want to be, and be a real shame. So you have to tank them with us, and then as soon as it gets resolved, they'll of course take back all the deals and
absolutely.
the money and everything else, and then you'll just go back to your little hole.
Yeah.
But thank you for standing with us. Someday you might be able to.
Oh, they won't even thank you for standing with us. They're gonna be like, okay, plebs, go back to whatever you're doing before, you stupid YouTubers.
That's what you take a big issue with, and the fact
huge
that
issue with
they have this it seems like there's a very arbitrary rules for me but not for rules for thee and not for me, or whatever, how it goes. It's like you're allowed to, if you can go work on other projects, but you can't, but you can.
Yeah, it was very inconsistent because they were cutting those side deals, those interim agreements. And also one of the biggest problems I have on the actors side of it is that actors, look at what happened with Zach Levi and Stephen Amell. They're not.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
They're not allowed to talk about past projects, right?
But you want the fans to keep supporting you.
Right. So the fans are paying big money. A lot of them going to the convention just to see a certain celebrity.
And you know what? I got a news flash for you. Most people don't make what you get paid, especially if you're a writer. I know, shocker, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people don't get that much money.
So it's for them to spend a couple $1,000s to go to a convention, to fly, the hotel, to get in, to pay for the autograph, all this stuff. And then you get there and be like, yeah, I want to see the guy who's on Chuck. Oh, he can't talk about Chuck because of the stupid strike. So what is he going to talk about? Like his dog?
No, you just give him money, signs his name. You say, bye. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm the actor. I'm the person. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I can't talk about anything, though.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
Sorry you spent money. Which, that was just what they were complaining about.
Yeah, and I agree with them on that point. I think that if it's I think if it's a new project that's coming out in the theaters and you don't want actors there to promote it, that's one thing. But I think if it's something from like 20 years ago, what the hell? That it doesn't have any bearing.
No.
Anyway, that's my own personal. The bigger issue I have is with the writers strike. And again, I agree with them on
everything.
Some points. Yeah, I do. But what I vehemently disagree with is that they need 20 freaking writers in the writers' room. Again, how many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? And a lot of the showrunners have come out and said,
how many people does it take to screw up TV shows?
Screw up Netflix. How many people? And I think a lot of the problems that we're having with a lot of these streaming shows is they have too many unqualified people working on these shows. And a lot of them absolutely hate the properties they're working on. Look at The Witcher. And it's like every time you turn around, like, writer on The Witcher. I'm like, damn, The Witcher's only got like 8 or 10 episodes per season. How many damn writers do you need? And it's already based on existing stories. So just adapt the book. How hard is that? Oh, I'm sorry. It's Netflix. What?
Yeah.
how hard is that?
Adapt. That just means they race bend, gender swap,
yeah, right.
Add a bunch of characters that weren't in the source material because they hit check boxes, etc.
Yeah, so this is the WGA guy here, right? They put a video out. This is the negotiating committee co-chair, Chris Kaiser.
Oh, that's one of the ones that went to the meeting and didn't take the deal?
Yeah, so they got rid of Adam Conover, I guess.
Oh, they did?
I don't know. He's like, why don't they have Adam as the face of it? Because he's just completely unlikable. He's probably
still there.
Yeah, they said that they're wrestling amongst themselves. The changes the companies have orchestrated in the business have made the profession of writing untenable for us and for everyone who comes after us. That hasn't changed because they waited 102 days to talk to us and have taken their time since.
Yeah, because they it's not a priority. They're saving money.
Our feet and our backs may ache, but our cause is still the same. Our case is, remember the unemployed Hollywood writers who turned down $11,000 to $14,000 a week on this Labor Day. Mm-hmm. Fuck those construction workers and those coal miners.
Those people don't make that much.
And those retail plebs, those freaking YouTubers. Screw those people because they don't work as hard as we want to.
We say we do.
Because we say we do. Yeah.
Erosion of pay.
This is everybody. Like, look, I am not trying to be a dick. And people accuse me of being, I am a dick. I completely admit I am a dick.
Can't confirm he can be a dick, but I usually keep him in check.
Yeah, I would be without Geeky, you have no idea. I would be Omega Dick.
Omega Dick.
I would be the biggest dick of them all.
It's okay. I keep his dick slapped down, so we're good.
Yeah, she never mind.
I keep him in check.
She slaps my cock around.
No, that's not what I said.
So I don't.
That's not what I
don't
said.
hurt anybody else.
That's not what I said.
That's what she said. No, but that's what she said.
No, it's not what she said. Continue.
So yeah, look, and this is coming from a guy who I've been, most of the jobs I've had, I've been in like management, mid-management, some kind of management position. So like, I'm kind of looking at this on both sides, and we've had brush ups with the unions and all this stuff. The thing is that I hate to break it to Hollywood. I really hate to break it to you guys. You're not really anything special. You are basically facing the same challenges, the same hurdles that everybody else in America is facing. Mm-hmm. There are a certain class of people, white collar workers specifically, and I say this as a white collar worker specifically, who thought they were immune to the winds of change. Now, it's totally acceptable if the farmers are out of work and the grease monkeys are out of work and all these. They should have went to college. If they went to college, it wouldn't have happened to them.
Kicker is some of these people that are going for electrician, plumbing, they make more money than doctors. So
that is true. Because everybody wanted to be a white collar worker, right? So everybody went to school with the promise of, I'm going to get a degree in this thing.
And a lot of debt because it was all racket.
I have a lot of debt. So I'm going to work in this field and that's it. Because I have my degree. I am that thing. Well, sometimes industries move on. People move on. And I sit there thinking about, I got into web development when it first started and what a massive change it's been from when the internet was new, fresh and new, and you didn't have any formal training. You had to figure it out.
This is unrelated, but I've noticed this trend too, as a teacher. They used to be you go to college and you go to college for marketing, or you go to college for animation or something like that. Now they want you have to pick a degree and it gets you so pinpointed down to one thing. Well, you can do marketing, but you can only get a degree in this one aspect. Where it used to be really broad, so you could do any part of it. You were trained to do pretty much all of it. Now they want you pinpointed and pigeonholed in something so small that if you don't find a job in that, you're screwed. Where it used to be you were under a big umbrella, and now they have you so narrowed into these zoned in these little categories. And it's ridiculous. And they're charging you more money for that. And I'd say it's a ripoff and a half. But anyway,
I think people have gotten dumber and lazier because we used to.
I think it's a racket to give people pay more.
It is, but people, they don't have the initiative. You look at the people that started a lot of it. Now this is going on a side tangent. People even started studios. Reading about Walt Disney and Roy Disney starting the studio. The people that started these companies had moxie. They had initiative. They didn't, Disney's like, well, I don't have my degree in animation or whatever, so I can't go start no animation company. Nah, he just fucking did it.
Yeah, right.
We don't
have a degree in YouTube. Here we are.
The last couple of game developers, big video game developers I've talked to working on major titles. They're like, yeah, most of us early on, we just kind of taught ourselves and we just kind of did it,
That's what we've done.
But the thing is that, sometimes you do something for a time and you move on. And the thing is here with Hollywood is everything is changing. And just because you've been doing something for decades doesn't mean.
But that's what they accused AmpTip of. They said just because it's been that way for years for you doesn't mean that's how it should stay. And it's like vice versa. If they don't need 20 writers in the writer's room.
No.
Then and they could get by with 2 or 3, then that's the change that's going to happen. I'm sorry. Because the writer's room seems to be the holdup.
Yes. Again, I have less sympathy for the writers than I do for the actors because I think the writers' asks are, my personal opinion is that I think they're more ridiculous. I think the writer's room is ridiculous.
Well, a lot of them are fair except for the one about the writer's room.
Yes. So anyway, in the video they said it's a celebration of dignity and value of those of us who work, our acknowledgement that this country was built by people who take home a paycheck. For us, though, this is not a celebration, not yet. For us, it's just a day off, a time to rest up and finish the job.
Well, no,
we have no choice.
Picketing today, too, guys. Are you not serious? No, I'm just like, so the rest of you guys, it's to celebrate you guys all work, all you plebs. But we're not getting, what you guys make in, a year every couple months. So we're mad about it. But we live in LA. So a lot of people who don't work get as much as you get paid.
There are limits to how workers can be treated. This is the same with the comic book union. I'm like, how badly are you guys actually being treated? Because you do realize that labor unions back in the day, it was about, keeping the company from effectively owning their employees and working them 18, 20 hours a day and sending them down to coal mines and, having kids get ground up in machines and all this other crazy stuff that was going on.
Did you read this? For labor all across the country, this is the message. We and everyone who strikes with us are the beacon of hope. We carry the flag. Well, half you people were pissed about, hate America and want socialism. On this labor,
I don't understand that.
On this Labor Day, the eyes of labor are on us. No, really, they're not. Most people don't give a shit. I'm just going to tell you, when I talk to normal people who aren't in LA, a lot of them think you're entitled to think you're being ridiculous, and they don't give a shit. I'm sorry, but but that's the truth.
What about the people that literally clean shit for a living?
What
Like that's their job, and you're getting
people that aren't on strike that work their asses off, don't get paid anywhere near as much, and they're like losing their houses and like threatening to blow stuff up because they're so
desperate
because you guys don't want to take
$14,000 a week. Yes. Part-time job.
And you don't $14,000 all be employed instead of the ones that are actually needed. You know, there's a lot of people in the world who fucking want to be employed, and there's not enough jobs for them because they're not going to make more jobs than what they actually need jobs for because they're them.
Yeah.
That's how you're like, oh, feel for us because we're the beacon of hope. No, you're not. You're full of shit, and people are sick of it.
You know, it's funny because I sit there when I think of Labor Day, I often think of like American blue collar workers,
right? The ones who are actually out there busting their ass.
You know, people out there doing construction jobs, dangerous jobs.
I'm not saying the people that are white collar workers don't bust their ass. I know a lot of doctors and lawyers and teachers and stuff that, especially teachers. Oh my God, they take so much shit that do. But I'm sorry, we're not slavery. We wish we could work writing imaginary stories, right? And ruining franchises, but we can't.
And a lot of times you don't even have to come up with this stuff whole cloth. It's already laid out for you. You just take an existing franchise and fuck it up.
Right.
A computer can do that. I'm sorry.
It just be me and 2 of my friends. It has to be me and 10 of my friends. And if it's not me and 10 of my friends, well, then we're just not doing it. And we're going to scream that people, we're being treated unfairly.
Well, I'm telling you right now, like if we ever got to a point, now we've actually pitched shows before. We've had a couple shows optioned. If we ever got to a point where hypothetically, hypothetically speaking, we were developing like a Shadowbinders animated series or something, I can tell you, it would be you and I and maybe a couple other people we trust writing those scripts, and we're not going to bring a bunch of people in.
No.
Because it's got to feel like it's the same story. It has to
be authentic, yeah. And the thing is, it's like, for people that are like, I'm a writer, I can write anything. I see an awful lot of writers who only can write themselves. And then they're like, I mean, then that's fair if it's your own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Shadowbinders basically is you and me, and it's fair if it's your own thing. But it's not fair if it's an IP, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, there are some people who are out there working their asses off every day, and they're labor unions because, they have people working, 80-hour weeks, and then they were in the heat and everything else. It's not so we want more money. Okay, fine. We want, AI restrictions. Okay, fine. We want residuals and transparency. Okay, fine. And we want a writer's room where we have more people than you actually need. No, they're horrible to us, and no one's listening to us, and we're the voice of the labor, and where.
Yeah, it makes it really hard. Again, it makes it really hard to feel a whole lot of sympathy.
I did at first, but the longer this goes on, the more I'm like, you're doing. Yeah,
you were kinder than I was. I'm like, oh hell no. I've seen unions come into companies and destroy companies in some cases. And
I think sometimes they're necessary. Like I think the VFX workers definitely necessary.
Yeah, if you're actually being abused and you're actually being ripped off and you're actually being threatened and you're actually being comic book office staff, no. Hollywood Netflix writers.
Well, even then, I'm agreeing with them, but almost everything they're saying, except for the point about how many people in the room.
Right.
And that seems to be the one catching point with this whole damn thing, is because they want people, and they want too many cooks in the kitchen, which usually ruin the broth, and they want too many people in there because they want to keep them all their people who are paying dues employed, to keep their power, to keep them all employed so that they stay in charge. And the problem is there's not enough work. If there's not enough work, there's going to have to be layoffs. That's how it is in any other industry. There's a lot of people who want to keep working, and they want things too, and they have families too, and they have to pay taxes and union dues too. Shocker to that one writer who was a dumbass. But they're out there too, but their company closes some of the stuff down. They can't keep everyone. That's just how it works.
I have literally, and I've talked about this before, I've literally seen companies get sold. I've seen companies get shut down and moved to other countries just to get rid of the union, just so they could afford to hire more people.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think sometimes unions are necessary. And I think the unions should be there if it's a matter of keeping it fair. But I think sometimes they overreach.
I think what is going on in this case is Netflix, by looking at more Korean shows, more anime, more stuff like that, they're effectively moving the plant to another country so they don't have to deal with the union. So I don't know, guys. Again, if you can get that money,
Good on you.
Good on you. I am just telling you realistically, I do not think it's going to happen. I do not think
No,
the
they
studios
got the money. They got the money. That wasn't the issue. It's the stupid writer's room.
Yeah, but they're not going to get that.
They got the money, Ask. They got everything they wanted but one thing.
They're going to have to be like, okay, is this the best we can do? Because right now, from my understanding, I mean, I could be wrong, but my understanding is Netflix and Disney aren't sweating this a whole lot.
Well, they need to be, though.
They probably need to be, because people are
down the road, it's going to be a problem.
Right, but they're probably looking at this like, well, we're going to cancel a bunch of shit anyway, and a lot of the stuff coming down the pipeline is shit. So this gives us
they probably have so much content, that they have, they're holding right now that they could release too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up because the same stuff we talk about all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.